So today we're going to talk about multiplying your plants. What you want to be able to do if you have plants that you like, you want to be able to make more of them, and you want to do it for free. So we're going to talk about a couple of ways to do that. We're going to talk about seeding, voluntary seeding, and we're going to talk about cloning, which is propagating with cuttings. So let's get started. How to get more plants from the ones you really like and enjoy. Right here, these are my Rudbeckia. These are the Black Eye Susan plants that I grow. They'll end up getting this tall. Wait, let me show you what they looked like last year. Here's a scene from a prior video. Look how tall those Rudbeckia are. My gosh, some of them are nearly 3 feet tall. Now you know how tall they get and how beautiful they are. Boy, wouldn't you like to have more of those? Let me show you an easy way to do it. When I have these plants and they get into the season, basically I cut the seed heads off and I just throw them in the ground. And there are a couple of things you have that happens is they decompose, the seeds fall out, and they go into the ground, and Mother Nature tells them when to start growing. So let's show you what we have now. Okay, so now we have all these seeds that have fallen in the ground, and we can see right here in front of us, there's a whole group of them. So all of these are seedlings that have sprouted from all the seed heads, and here's one right there. And that's what the old seed head looks like. And these are going to grow, and each one of these plants will get that big or larger and make a wonderful Black Eye Susan. We have a whole bunch more over here. This is the easy way to do it. I do it every year. Matter of fact, these plants back here in the backyard, this will just be their 3rd year. And they were started from the Black Eye Susans I have in my front bed. Here's some plants in this year's garden that are growing. See all the white flowers? That's alyssum. They have reseeded from the prior plants from last year. And I like them in here. And they're nice, small, and they put out seeds and they drop them, and I just let them grow. Okay, in this corner of the bed we have on the right here is Datura. It is notorious for reseeding. These plants have the great big white flower. They bloom actually at night, and they'll last to about midday. And they close up. You can see one of the flowers getting ready to open here in another day or two. Here's a castor bean. Boy, it's just reseeding in the middle of the yard. We're pulling this up because we don't want it to grow here. That thing will get 10 feet tall. That's not the right spot for it. Here are a couple more castor beans. Well, they're right next to the flower bed. That's not where we want. We'll pull those up too. Here's a castor bean in the flower bed. We'll let that one stay. It'll work out just fine. Be sure and subscribe down below so you can come back and remember all the things you need to do so you can make more plants from the ones you have. Now this is the fun part about multiplying your plants. I'm going to show you how to use this Clonex cloning gel to help you in getting proper root stimulation so your plants and the cuttings will grow a lot faster. So one of my favorite colors is this purple blue shown in this Maynite salvia. And this plant is one that we're going to multiply because it's one of my favorites, and we need to have more of those in the garden. So we're going to come in here and take one of these healthy stems in here, and we're going to go down pretty far and make sure we cut right below where the stem is, because that's where the roots are going to come out. And we'll cut off these other tops here because we want the plant to grow, not necessarily bloom, and we'll see if we can't get that as one of our cuttings. So let's take a couple more in here. So I think what we'll do is make this 3 of them. And we'll cut those here and see how we do. We're gonna cut all that off. We just want the plant to be able to grow. Okay, we're in our garage because it's so windy out that you couldn't hear me if I was talking. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do with these cuttings now. So when you take one of these that you have like this, you want to strip off the lower leaves. Each one of these nodules where the leaves join the stem is where the roots are going to come out. And right now we're not worried about flowers. We actually don't want the flowers, so we actually are going to take a cutting like that, and that's going to be good to plant. We're going to stick it in our water while we're waiting for that. So we're going to come over here and do the same thing on these. We're going to make sure that we have all of that trimmed off, and we may even take off one of these leaves here, and that one's going to make a nice cutting there. Okay, so we have some soil here, and we're going to prep this a little bit by adding just a touch of moisture in here, and then we're actually going to fill this thing up with water, and that's going to hold our plants to make sure they get plenty of water. So we're going to come along and fill up our containers, or little potters, with soil. And we'll get enough of these to fill this up with in here. Alright, so we're going to come back in here in a minute, and well, I should just pour a little more water in here like this. We want to make sure our medium is moist so we can immediately start watering our plants. Okay, so now we remember what we had with our cutting, so now we're going to get our Clonex out. So I have opened my Clonex gel and have cut it where I have a little side angle in there, and you can see I'm going to dip this stem all the way down in as deep as it'll go. Make sure I have the gel covering each one of those nodules, and we're just going to insert that guy in there. And this one here, we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to put that guy right in there as deep as we can without breaking the stem. So we're just going to continue around, and we're going to put 2 in each one of our little pots, and we might even put 3, kind of depend on how many cuttings we have here. Part of our issue is not every plant may survive, and we want to be able to anticipate that and have enough in here to where we can get a good start of 6 to 8 plants. And if you want more plants, then you obviously need to have more cuttings. You can see there's nothing real magical about this. Just dip that in. Make sure it gets coated with your gel. There we go. And so that's our Maynite salvia all potted up for our cuttings. We'll put our top on our Clonex, and then we'll carry it outside so it can get some sun. Here we go. Now we kind of push them over to the side so they're in the shade a little bit. So this is my potting bench, and you can see even here it's about 11 or 12 o'clock and it's still in the shade. It's early enough in the growing season where they won't get any real direct sun, which that's important when you do your cuttings. You don't want them to be real hot. You want them to have indirect sun, lots of water. I'll make sure I fill up that reservoir on a regular basis. We'll come back and see, and I bet about a week, 10 days, you'll start to see some roots on our cuttings. And I bet within 3 to 4 weeks, we can plant them. So multiplying your plants can be easy, whether you're doing it with propagation by cuttings, or whether you're doing it with seed starting or involuntary seed starting. multiplying your favorite plants is something that everyone should know how to do to be considered a gardener. So all you gardeners out there, I want you to send me a comment down below in the comment section and tell me what you've done to multiply your plants and what have been your favorite plants to multiply. So if you like this video on multiplying your plants, give me a thumbs up. Come back and see me real soon.